G'day, mates. Sorry, I kept touching the cord and it stuffed the mic up, but it's still a good episode. I love you. G'day, mates. I'd like to start this week's Mate episode with a story. It takes place around April of this year. I'm standing outside the live Melbourne venue Max Watts on the final night of Melbourne International Comedy Festival. On the final night, MICF, Melbourne International Comedy Festival, organisers throw a themed party at Max Watts to celebrate their festival. The vibe at the party when I arrive on this evening, after recording this podcast, is frankly a bit dull. At times, Comedy Festival has a unique electric energy to it, which I've experienced over 15 years. And I'm at the final night party and there's absolutely no vibe in the place. So I decide to head out and get some fresh air on the street. I find myself standing on the street in the smokers area talking to friends when I start to notice concerned security and a general energy of hubbub coming across Swanston Street in the middle of the city. Something big is happening. You can feel it in the air. I look over Swanston Street to Town Hall where I see a mass horde of raucous young comedy types. It looks and feels revolutionary. Mass numbers have gathered around someone speaking. This person was Scout Boxall, a name that's rapidly rising in the comedy world. Their work at the Comedy Festival this year won the Pinder Prize, and it's an award that sends the recipient to the Edinburgh Fringe to be recognised on the world stage. Scout's audiences grow rapidly every time they perform. And on this evening, they were hosting something called the Dumpster Awards on the street. It's a guerrilla rogue award ceremony Scout created themselves, recognising the proper spirit of the festival from the perspective of people more reflective of the festival's comics and artists. I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. The street just packed. Well, no one at the official party and the streets just jammed with this guerrilla festival. Scout had been recognised by the establishment and won an award at that festival, but in the same breath was leading a counter movement across the road that was shutting down the streets of Melbourne. After a while, the street awards ceremony dissipated. People headed inside. They started to go towards the official party. I saw Scout walking my way, beaming with aura. They walked straight up to me, clearly with something to say. They looked at me, someone at the peak of their career, and said, "Darcy did his knee." Even at the top, Footy can bring you back to earth. And at that moment, I thought, I need to get this person on the show. A great comedian, a footy fan, F1 nut, and a fucking LARPer. Please welcome Scout Boxall.
Hello.
How are you, mate?
I'm so good.
That's the longest intro I've ever done, but I sat there the other day writing.
That's unbelievable.
That's how I think about you, though, because...
I was wearing my scarf with my badges on, and you said, bounce back, and I was like, Darcy's done his knee.
Yeah, it's because you are genuinely, this year, just dominated the world of comedy, and like... our audience there's a lot of comedy fans, but there's also people who are just footy fans and might not know your name yet, but I have been around long enough to know that they will. And it's just cool that out of all the shit, because I feel like it sometimes too, where you're in another world entirely and all you cared about was Sam Darcy had done his knee. And by the way, he's back now.
Oh my God, he's back.
And he's back in a big way.
He's back in a big way, and he's taking pressure off Norton, and I hope, the lids are nowhere near off.
Yes.
But,
are you in the 8 now as we sit here?
Yes, just.
Congratulations.
By virtue of horrific margins.
And log jams at that point in the ladder.
Yeah.
You're currently hosting Triple R Breakfast as well at the moment now, which is really cool. Triple R is... Well, I guess it's the Triple J of Melbourne before Triple J became national. Yeah.
It's like the community radio of Melbourne that also it does music and it's educational and it's just such a good community. The Reclink Cup just happened.
Did you go?
I did not go. I was unwell.
So was I.
Yeah, I was crook. But I am so keen to go next year. I think I'm going to try and play for the Megahertz next year. I've never played footy before.
What are the two teams?
The Megahertz is all the radio broadcasters from PBS and Triple R.
Zanro would have been on that. from this show, potentially.
I think so.
Yep.
And then the Rock Dogs are all the musos. And the Rock Dogs eat shit every year because they are deeply disorganized. And the megahertz are quite lethal. So we lost. Yeah, and we lost by a small margin on the weekend. So
what is the Triple R audience? Who are they?
Ooh. Honestly, it's a massive cross section. Like I'm on Breakfasters and filling in this week for the regular hosts. And the people who message in, it's like there's people messaging in from their 70s who are like just living out in the suburbs and love the tunes.
Yeah.
There's like it's all ages, all backgrounds. It's people who love music. It's people who love like local community stuff. It's like hyper local, and I just love it.
What kind of music? Because every time I walk in there for an interview, I'm like, I've never heard this fucking song before in my life. And it's usually off a CD or something, or there's like
Oh my God. There's the last time I did Breakfasters was with a guy called Paulie P. Shout out Paulie P. What an absolute legend. And he would be in his 50s and he came in with a case of cassettes and vinyls, and he's like, yeah, it's a shame we don't do much cassettes anymore. And I was just like, this man is a gem and should be protected at all costs.
Can you play vinyl on the radio?
Yes. They have full vinyl decks. They have live mixing decks. They have like live bands coming in on Fridays and Sundays. And if you feel like you're stuck in a music rut, which often I am because I just go to the gym and I listen to the same 10 jungle tunes at a very specific BPM.
As in the band Jungle?
No, as in the genre jungle.
Genre Jungle, cool.
Yeah.
Is that Phil Collins' Tarzan soundtrack?
It's all of Mowgli's great hits.
Oh, fuck yeah, it's sick.
But if you're in a music rut, tune into Triple I and PBS because you'll find something you've never heard before. And they cover all genres, everything from reggae to like hard trance to punk rock, garage, big emphasis on local Aussie and like Naarm-based bands. So you can actually go see them live.
That's sick.
It's sick. I love it.
Are they got a digital frequency?
Yes, I think so. You can listen on an app.
Oh yeah, I gotta get the app.
Got to bloody get the app, mate.
But that's awesome. So you are a footy. Have you always been a footy fan?
No, I'm a relatively new footy fan. First footy game I saw was AFLW.
Yeah.
And it was the inaugural AFLW game at Icon Park.
Collingwood.
Huge. And I...
Did you get a little badge?
I didn't get a badge. They were giving out badges?
I live near it and I walked in to get the vibe, but I was going to watch it at home and I got a badge and then I went home. Because it was free entry. Yeah, you could just walk in at that point. Before it got locked out. Everyone got locked out. But sorry, go on.
The vibe was lovely. The vibe was sick. But I'm... The first, like, sport that I was, like, massively into was roller derby. I skated roller derby and refereed roller derby for ages. And then I did my knee. And then... It was Formula One, still massive Formula One head. And now I was always sort of like footy curious. Yeah. And people often assumed that I went for the Western Bulldogs because of my haircut and general demeanour.
You do have a Footscray vibe.
Yeah, I got an official review once that was like a mullet that wouldn't look out of place in the Western Bulldogs. And I was like, who are these Western Bulldogs and what are they up to?
Was that a review you said?
That was a
review made you go for the doggies in a way? Or,
a little bit.
Or was your North
Star?
It
started to move the needle. But then last year was the first year that I really started locking on to the AFLM. And yeah, I've never been fully consumed by a sport like I have been consumed by AFL.
Really?
Honestly, yeah.
Tell me why?
I think, like, roller derby, hyper local and specific.
We're coming back to roller derby. By the way.
I love it. Like, people are like, oh God, injuries in footy. I'm like, you haven't. I've seen people break their collarbones and then like skate to the hospital.
What's that movie? Whip It?
Whip It.
Is that good? Should I watch it?
Yeah, you should. It's good. It's solid.
Okay, we'll talk about this briefly and then come back to footy.
Yep.
How does roller derby work?
Okay, you got a flat track. Whip It is on a bank track because it's in America, but normally you're on a flat track and you've got 2 teams of 5. You've got 4 blockers and 1 jammer. The jammer wears a star on their helmet. The blockers wear regular helmets. And the jammer tries to get past all the blockers, lap them, and then for every blocker they pass from the opposing team, they get a point. It's a full contact sport. So people get shoved, you're not meant to trip. But it's very, very intense and physical. If you're a jammer,
knee pads and things?
Full thing. Knee pads, shin pads, elbow pads, wrist guards. Like, you have to be fully kitted up in order to do it. But also, like, on a professional level, everyone is like, it's the classic, like, women and non-binary athlete in that like everyone is elite in 5 sports. But on the community level, it's like women in their 40s who have not played sports since high school, and the injury rate is so high. No, the bone density on these teams is horrific. It's no good. But I loved it. It was like my first sort of like way of finding queer community. It was the first sport where I felt like represented in. And then when I came to Melbourne, I was obsessed. I loved it so much. I would train 4 times a week out at the factory in Reservoir, which is literally just like a slick floor with padding on the sides.
Everything you say is cool.
Stop it.
You're a naturally cool person. So you're in that world. You're doing it 4 times a week. I want to point out the roller skates. Like my first, is it roller skates, not blades?
So blades
They're
are
so
the
much
one
harder.
in the line. No, skates are easier. Skates are way easier. They're way more stable. Blades are faster. Skates are more stable. But when I did my knee, I then became a ref, and you're still on skates because you have to follow the pack. and there's one guy who refuses to wear skates. He only wears inline blades, and every time anyone brings it up, we're like
a referee.
Yeah. And his ref name, his derby name is Gary, but no one knows his real name because in derby you get to choose your own player
name. He's made his fake name Gary.
Yeah, which is unbelievable. Which begs a question: what's the real name?
Yeah.
What is he sitting on?
Could be like fucklord or something. Like something much more cooler.
He's been named something illegal in several states. Probably. But and he'd be like, "There's nothing in the rules that say refs can't wear inlines."
Yeah.
And then we'd all be like, "All right, Gary, like what are you gonna do?"
So you're in that incredible world.
Yes, big microcosm.
But then you notice football, or you start to take in football, and what draws your eye first?
Honestly, lesbians. I was there for the W, not the AFL.
Yeah,
Let's be real.
How good is the vibe at a W game?
It's magic.
Did you was Icon your favourite? Did you go to a few?
I went to a couple. Icon was pretty sick because I was quite nervous going to an AFL game because I was like, I don't know shit about the rules. I don't know anything about how this sport functions. But also no one else there did because it was all families. It was all young queers and uni students and like women who were just excited to like see themselves on field. And then I saw one at either Marvel or the MCG.
Oh, yeah.
And it was also sick, but it was too big a venue for the crowd and it felt a bit odd. And then I went back to Icon Park again last year and watched the Demons do very well. Against I can't remember who.
Someone. Maybe Collingwood that day.
Potentially. But I also saw a man who was so locked into the game. He was wearing like Coke bottle glasses and then he had binoculars and then he had like big earphones where he was clearly listening to the radio commentary and then getting live feed through the binoculars and he was not reacting or emoting at all. I was like, this man, he's in it.
He's either taking it all in or he's really not. He's
lost in the sauce. It was beautiful.
What did you notice now that you go to potentially M and W?
Yep.
What do you feel is the vibe difference? Because we've talked about it a lot on this podcast, but the W vibe is immaculate.
Honestly, both vibes are immaculate.
Okay.
Like I've only been to M games at very big stadiums. Like I've not been to Ballarat, for example.
Mars.
R.I.P. Mars. it's brutal. But they're immaculate in very different ways. Mm-hmm. I think the W feels a lot more like my partner does pub footy.
Yeah.
And so we go to pub footy on the weekend and that's what it feels like.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Food trucks,
families, very community based. And then the M feels more like it feels a bit more, people are way more invested in the outcome of the game and people are way more likely to like get bitter and toxic and weird.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've never seen anyone kick off at a W game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like someone will do one microaggression and people will be like, okay,
well,
all right, let's take this outside and diffuse this gently.
So with the sport itself, what are the things that have, because you say you focused on this more than any other sport. Why?
Yeah. I think like my big sport for a long time was Formula One, which is quite difficult to access. Obviously, there's only one Grand Prix in Australia a year. Everything else is at a fucked time. So you got to either watch it live at 3 a.m. or try and dodge spoilers until you've finished work that day, which is tough.
Yeah.
And it's such a technical sport. Like the car and the construction of the car and the technical regulations, that is so much a part of the sport. And it is so it is so specifically regulated down to like the millimeter of like how much the bottom board of the car can wear away during the race. And if the bottom board of the car wears away during the race more than 1 millimeter, that entire team is disqualified. Shout out to Ferrari earlier this year. Hope they're well. But
3 different wheels as well, and we're having the right wheels and
5 different wheel compounds. This year, Pirelli introduced the super soft compound, so everyone's now racing on the medium compound, which used to be the soft compound. Like, I literally have my L's, but I know more about like a drag reduction system than I know about how to shift gears in a car. Like, it's magic to me because I don't drive regularly.
Did you write a song about Verstappen?
Yeah, fuck Max Verstappen.
What was the? I only never saw you do it. Mark came back to work one day and told me about it. Like, he gave me the. What is this? What is the?
It's called "Fuck Max Verstappen," and the lyrics go like this: "Fuck Max Verstappen, little pussy bitch. He's cracking under pressure. Now the Dutch cunt sees what's happening." I said, "Fuck Max Verstappen. He can't get that clearance. Only won the championship through FIA interference." Look it up. I said, "Fuck Max Verstappen. He can't get out on the track, and now he knows another crashes. He locks up." And anyway, it goes on. I did that on Roadshow once, and I've never eaten so much shit on stage.
Really? Because they didn't know F1?
They didn't know F1, and no one really knew what was going on.
Roadshow for people is comedy festival takes out a few people from the festival, and then you go out to
rural and regional bits of Australia. And yeah, most of my material is made for inner North Melbourne queers, and that tested my skills.
There would be a few people in that crowd that would go, I'm moving. Yeah.
I hope I awaken something in someone out in Yay.
Was it you in Yay?
One of them was in Yay.
Hell yeah. So I was very quickly say on F1 this year, because what I struggle with F1 about is it's just Verstappen or it's just Hamilton. But this year is actually interesting, and like more interestingly, an 8-year-old Australian he's
a boy.
He's taking over, and he's in front still.
Yes. He's still leading.
But it's close, and it's
close. It's close between him and his teammate. And there's a lot of people in the mix. Like this is the thing that's quite unique to F1 versus like other team sports is that like you have technical regulations for like 4 years, and we're at the end of that 4-year period, which means that every car has been optimized to follow these technical regulations.
So it changes next year.
So the entire car design will change next year. But that means that this year everyone is at like the field is a lot closer because everyone's realized what works and no one's taking risks. I mean, with the exception of Alpine. Shout out Alpine. I hope they're okay. And there's no shake of the head. Alpine's not okay. But it means that it's incredibly close. And McLaren, who are my team, who I followed when they were a struggling midfield team, and I was just hoping they would finish in the points, are just absolutely dominating. And so they're winning the constructors by a fair margin, and both their drivers are first and second in the Drivers' Championship. And Oscar Piastri, I reckon he's on for the win. I really do.
Yeah, that would
huge
be just mammoth.
Oh my God. I went to the Grand Prix at Albert Park.
The rainy one?
Yeah, he spun off into the grass.
Yeah.
It was absolutely apocalyptic weather. It was so rough. They were trying to create this like beach vibe. They had a lot of like beach umbrellas and like palm trees and stuff. And I was like, this beach is Gallipoli because we're fighting for our fucking lives.
In Melbourne, when the Grand Prix is here, all we care about, in my memory, going back to Webber, Mark Webber, was all we've ever cared about is will an Australian win it? And then we never talk about it for the rest of the year. But like, I feel like there's a good chance over the next few years that he might win it.
Yeah.
We would lose our shit here.
He's ice cold. He's literal. It's ice in the veins. He's so unflappable.
Is he just doesn't like that kind of Bond personality where you can't like it's just a professional?
Still waters, run deep, deeply professional guy. Used to be like, oh, he can't manage his tires. He can't manage a long race. And now he's fixed everything he could possibly fix. He's in his 3rd season and he's won more races than his teammate who's been in it for like, I don't know.
Yeah.
7 or 9 seasons. Poor Lando.
So they're going to make him the main guy. They'll never say it publicly.
No. McLaren never have a first driver because they want to be liked more than they want to win.
Yeah.
And so they say they have 2 first drivers.
Love
and
that.
they actually came together in the latest race.
And fought.
And Lando ate shit and spun off, and it was either a red flag or a safety flag. Or a yellow flag, sorry. And Yeah, it was the first time they've actually properly battled.
What I liked about it, because I saw it too, is it was a lesson in masculinity. It was like, if you just apologize, everything's fine. Or it takes something that's from like 95% down to like 10. It removes any petrol.
Absolutely. But even when Lando tried to overtake, the move wasn't on, it went into the wall, he's out of the race, car's totaled. And immediately he was like, my bad, sorry everyone. And that was the end of the story. But then online, because I'm on Reddit because I hate myself.
Sure.
And they were like, that's not the mentality of a world champion. Max would never apologize. Hamilton would never apologize. And I was like, can we consider that there's a new generation of men who are happy to own their mistakes?
The problem with Reddit, IMHO, and I'm saying this as a Reddit comment, is that it's not, it's framed as a discussion, but it's not, it's statements.
Yes.
As opposed to, it's not a dialogue. It's like, this is the last thing I'll say. So everything's done as an absolute. Is this one is bad or this one is good or like, and so it's actually a bad conversation a lot of the times because people say the absolute thing as opposed to, is it true that this is maybe the case?
Yeah.
Upvotes, hate them.
It happens. I feel like because I'm in the Western Bulldogs Reddit.
How active is that?
It's pretty active.
On the top of your head, do you know how many members? Because the Melbourne one's only like 2K or something.
Oh, we wouldn't be more than that. I don't
really.
Think. I think 4K off the dome, but I might be wrong. Someone can fact check me on that. But
Paddy's on it.
There's like half a dozen guys. 4K, yeah, nice. There's like half a dozen guys who are the main posters. And they have sort of taken on the role of like moderating the group. There's one called Temmie Top, shout out Temmie Top. And he is he does like a predicted lineup every week. And it is interesting. I think it really is a good reflection of like the main, where the main core hardcore doggies see the club.
Go on.
Because it's a lot of people who go to the kennel and watch training. And so they're able to debunk stuff and they are always across stuff that's happening from inside the club, how the club is perceived from outside the club. Like, I'm just thinking of all the Jamara stuff, which obviously has dominated all the doggies media coverage this year. Did you listen to his podcast?
No, I haven't listened to it yet, but what's the show's called?
It's called Rip Through It.
Rip Through It, which I've never heard of before.
Me neither. They've probably got like 100 listeners on all their other episodes.
Not
and the
me.
one
Yeah.
tomorrow
but like, Paddy's got to say some stuff about Rip Through It.
It's Mitch Robinson and Reece Matheson.
Right. So, Nuffy Brisbane players, the two Nuffiest potentially.
Yep. Yeah.
Great name though.
It's cracker.
It is. It's consumed a lot of the discourse this year.
Yeah, and not within the club, but outside of the club.
Yeah. No, I think Bulldogs have done incredibly well to Melbourne when we have things like that come up. Don't handle it well.
Really? You don't think so?
Melbourne don't. No.
Okay.
I mean, we to an extent. No, I think it's a fair thing to say no.
Oh, no.
But yeah, so the Reddit is about like, is it a good place to talk about it or?
I actually like it. I actually like the community on there. Often after a hard loss, I'll go there. And it's a lot of guys who are like rusted on Doggies fans who've been following for like 25, 30 years. You know, they type like boomers and they know what they're talking about. And they have a sense of perspective because like if any listeners can imagine like when you were first getting into AFL and going to games, like how emotionally weighted it is and how extreme it is. Like it's just such an emotional roller coaster. And so it's nice to be able to step back and see a community of people who followed a team through thick and thin and be like, and they'll be like, this was like in 2012 when blah, blah, blah happened and we were fine. It's like this. And I find it really helpful and I really like it. And it's a lot of analysis on like Doggies history and lore that I really enjoy.
Yeah. I'm in a few Melbourne group chats. And I have this weird, the frequency, the friendships you have with people who go for the same team as you is really special. Yeah. Because you have these really nuanced, deep conversations about things that don't matter. I'm in a group chat with Luca Muller, Lewis Dowell, and Ben Searle.
What a great rotation.
It's just the four of us.
That's lovely.
Talking about the Ds. And I reckon I've spent a bit of time with Luca, not a lot of time with Lewis, and none with Ben. But we all are in this, and you can hit people on a frequency and talk to them at a fun level. I love it. I really love it. do you have much to do with the other comedian Dogs fans? There's a good. I think you are well represented.
There's a lot. I mean, Will Anderson is probably the most famous.
Yep.
I'd say.
Danny.
Oh
McGinley.
yes, McGinley.
Chad Licciardello from
Really?
The Chaser. He's been on this show.
Oh, good on him.
Yeah.
I love that. There was a couple of. I just finished up writing for the weekly, which was a joy.
Was that how many times a week is that?
Hours. I was there 4 days a week. And
How
we were
many?
there
The show is.
Oh, the weekly is once a week.
Once. It's weekly.
It's. Here's what it says on the tin.
Sorry. Stop
Hey,
meant to be
they
some
can't all be winners.
Yeah.
And look at the beautiful boys. Sorry. Just saw Buku.
Patty likes to put on a game for our guests,
And oh, what a game.
it's the game where
Everyone had a go.
Doggies just flogged poor old Richmond.
Yeah.
But
then Trelaw did his calf.
well, let's talk about who are your favourite Dogs players.
Ed Richards, hands down. I love him so much. He looks like the guy on the front of Mad Magazine.
He does, but then
He
plays
looks like a what's that cartoon that they then like Archie and
Archie
then,
comics kind of yeah.
He looks like he's out of that.
I was familiar with him, but till that Geelong game, I didn't realise how good he'd become.
Oh, he's unbelievable in terms of ball distribution and game sense. Like he's surprisingly athletic, and he does the same thing every week. He does a little dodge. He does in the canny and then he goes the other way, and no one ever sees it coming. And I love it so much.
Bont in your top 5?
Yes, absolutely. Rory Lobb.
You like Lob?
I love Lobby, and every time I'm in the Bulldogs members like seating at Marvel, every time he touches the ball, everyone's like, Lobby, Lobby. People have started doing little lobster hands.
Oh, really?
It's gorgeous. I love it. He's having a renaissance as a defender, and he is just crushing it.
To close out your top 5, who else is there?
Okay, so Bont, Ed
Richards, Lob.
Lobby.
I'm going to offer one, and feel free to say no, but Libba.
Oh, yes. Yeah. He's my partner's favourite player.
Yeah. Were you a
I've
Simpsons kid?
No, but I'm obsessed with the tats. Yeah. I mean, man looks like a scratch sheet from like the worst stick and poke artist you've ever met. But God, he's a little bulldog.
And he owns 2 pubs. Very footy guy. Very good.
I think we drove past one the other day.
I'm going to do a dramatic pivot to the other sport which you play, which I know literally nothing about, and I'm fascinated to talk about. LARPing. Tell me about LARPing. What does LARPing stand for, firstly?
LARP. It stands for live action role play. It's like Dungeons and Dragons,
Yeah.
but you do it in real life.
So
You act it out.
Okay, this is what it looks like to me. It looks like medieval fighting.
Yep.
But like in Brunswick.
Yes, that was actually, I've spent way more time on an AFL field as a battle than I have as an AFL field.
So how did you get into it?
So I got into it through some mates who were part of, also these are the same mates who got me into comedy sideways, which was, I was in Soothplayers Improvised Shakespeare.
I know them, yes.
Yep. Lovely guys.
Yes. Jason Geary. Is he in that?
Oh, I don't know.
That's another improv comedian.
Different man.
Anyway, go on.
They're all the same to me. And so they were like, Scout, you should come along to this LARPing thing. I reckon you enjoy it. And I was like, that looks like a loser thing for losers. And then I went along and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever done in my life. And it's a similar, so there's a lot of kinds of LARPing. There's like parlor LARPs, there's tabletop LARPs, there's fully immersive, like Nordic style LARPs. Nordic LARPs are basically just where you suffer for a weekend and camp in character.
Oh my God.
It's so, like, you can have post-apocalyptic LARPs, medieval LARPs. There's a small LARP company in Melbourne called Medusa, and they do an office LARP that's called Overtime, and it's where everyone takes on a character within an office setting, and then you have to like provide presentations and like fight legal stuff. And it's like any kind of tabletop role-playing thing, but you wear costumes and you like fully embody it. And then
awesome.
The one that most people would have seen in Melbourne would be Swordcraft, which runs on Friday nights at Ransford Oval. Come through, say hi, I'm always there.
What do you mean? You just like, everyone just shows up and you're laughing.
200 to 400 people show up. They wear armor. They hold foam and latex weapons that are simulated to look like real weapons but are safe.
Yes.
And then they fight. Everyone fights in a massive battle.
What do you mean? Do you set teams?
Yep. So you set teams. One team draws a short straw and has to wear sashes, and everyone else gets to just wear normal stuff. And then you have generals on either side, and that rotates between different warbands, which is like smaller teams. You have generals on either side. They pick their warbands, and then you have a map with objectives. Maybe you have to capture the flag. Maybe you have to kill another person on the other team with like a big banner, like an assassination thing. They also have a setting called Blood Bowl, which is based on a Warhammer like sports game, which is where you just have to take a flag and run it as quickly as you can the full length of the field and plant it without being struck by anyone or anything at all. And I would like to say that I am actually one of the reigning Blood Bowl champions.
So you can't be touched or taken down with blade.
You're on 1 point of health. As soon as you get cut, you're dead.
What if the flag drops to someone, pick it up and run to get...
Then another person becomes the Blood Bowler.
But you've got there all the way without being touched.
Then you win.
You've done that?
Yeah, I've done that. Like 3 times.
That's fucking
It's
dope.
me and Jake Timpano. Shout out Jake Timpano. Who's not listening to this.
That sounds genuinely so incredibly fun.
It's awesome.
400 people show up.
Yeah, we probably hit a max of like 500 when it's like a nice day in summer. On smaller nights in winter, it's like 100 to 200.
That's still ridiculous.
But everyone's wearing like full kit that they've made, and it's set in the Warhammer universe. So like people from the Empire wearing like 16th century Landsknecht German puff and slash dresses and Renaissance shirts, and then people are elves and they have little latex elf ears, and then there's people who go as orcs who are wearing like full on Hollywood level prosthetic orc stuff. It's fucking awesome. I love it so much.
Are there people there who are there like not good at a battle face to face, but like to create costumes?
Yes.
And are there people who are like, I want to be the greatest swordsmith?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of blacksmiths. There's a lot of people there's a lot of like artisanal creators and like lived history people and reenactment people. It's a perfect like petri dish for any kind of historical or like fantasy nerd. And there's some people there who are so competitive. Like, I am so competitive at LARP. I often have to take myself off the field. Like it's actually upsetting. Because
Sam Darcy's on the
boy
stream.
just scored a goal. They call him the human skyscraper, and I don't know if that's nice.
He's ridiculous. He is. He's the Burj Khalifa of players.
If the Burj Khalifa was athletic.
Yeah. Do you know that's built? There's no concrete base to that. It's the way that, because it's in sand in Dubai.
Yes.
It stands by friction. So the bars that go into the earth and
I hate that.
I know, it fucks me.
I'm never going in that building.
Friction is what's keeping the Burj Khalifa up.
Unbelievable.
Crazy shit. Anyway, I can't. So are people like walking their dogs past? And
Yeah.
they're like, what the fuck?
People walk their dogs past, families come by, people come watching the summer. I'm pretty sure I've seen Mark on the sidelines.
No, it's such a Mark thing.
Yeah.
But also, a small bearded man in Brunswick is not hard to come by.
I gotta say, I reckon Auntie Donna is...
Oh, we would love it.
You guys would love it, but the LARPers love you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they love Donna stuff. They love, like, the trope RPG stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they love it.
We're in today... this is embarrassing for me,
No,
but
go.
we got invited to a thing that's at Rod Laver tonight called One Roll Fuck. What's it called? Critical Roll.
One roll fuck.
Critical Roll, right? And
yeah.
And they was like, do you want
They're
to go?
at Rod Laver Arena?
Sold out Rod Laver.
Jesus
And they were like,
Christ.
you guys are in that world. Would you like to come? I was like, I don't know what this is. No, thank you. And then like there's been, I didn't realize, but I'd been offered a $1,000 ticket that's like meet the people and like.
Oh my God.
And I know someone was with them yesterday and like people walking past screaming at them being
my
there. And I was
God.
like, I don't respect this world enough and realize how like D&D in particular, how seriously and how loved it is. People sit with these, what are they called? Stories or expeditions?
Campaigns.
Campaigns for like a decade.
Yes. I know people who are doing like D&D campaigns that literally have gone longer than marriages that came out of
crazy.
those D&D campaigns.
The TikToks come up for me sometime where like a rabbit that's been around for 14 years dies and everyone's crying. You're like, it was just fucking insane. Like, crazy.
People
Like,
get so... I mean, like, but there's way more in common between like D&D and tabletop roleplay and sports nerds. Like...
Yeah.
In terms of people who are obsessed with people like I call it sportism. Do you know what I mean? Like people who are obsessed with stats.
yes, there's two kinds of sports
Yep.
fans, I think. There's the story, passion, love kind of people and then there's the people who connect or get into it through a super coach or a fantasy or
Yes.
Yeah. And
crunching those numbers and feeling like you have a degree of feeling like you can break something so like embodied and physical down to something so dry like numbers. And it's also like it's that classic thing of, you know, men in their 50s and 60s who are like, oh, back in my day we didn't have autism. And I'm like, I don't know, mate, your supercars model collection says otherwise.
Yeah, that garage of trains.
But there's I think there's a lot of autism representation in the in F1 at an elite level.
Tell me about...
Oh, you go.
Yeah, no, it makes complete sense to me. How do people find out more about the LARPing?
Oh, the LARPing. So if you're keen on the LARPing stuff, rock up on a Friday to Ransford Oval, come to Swordcraft, and you can do new player training where you get given a sword and a massive shield, and then you go in a small militia, and then you get sent out into battle and you learn how the game works.
You get hurt?
Sometimes.
Nice.
The worst injury I've seen is we have like safety arrows, which are like carbon fiber arrows, which have a pad on the end, so you can hit. It's like paintball, basically.
Hell yeah.
But
that would hurt, though.
Someone got shot in the eye with that, and then the thing snapped, and so their eye is now fucked up. But other than that,
so how do I do that?
How do you shoot someone in the eye and fuck their eye up?
Or be the eye fucked up guy?
Eye fucked up guy.
That's crazy.
Look up Swordcraft. Would be my main piece of advice. And then in terms of other LARPs that you might want to get into, there's a group called I just know the ones in Melbourne, really. But there's a group called Drakenfest that does a big LARP, like a big camping event every year, because we also have like week-long camping events where you make a medieval village and like you all hang out in character. Medusa LARP, there's a lot of like local LARPs. They did like the Overtime Office LARP. They also do a gangster LARP called Vendetta that they hold in a nightclub called 24 Moons in Northcote, which
like
is
an
sick.
Al Capone mobster.
Yeah, everyone plays like mobsters from, there's like the Yakuza, there's like the Russian mafia, the Italian mafia.
That sounds
it's awesome.
Fucking cool.
It's awesome.
Can we do an underbelly one in Pascoe Vale where it's just 2004?
Honestly, an underbelly LARP would go incredibly hard.
It's a jungle out there. We're going Rathdown Street to La Porchetta and shit. Do you know, because the Red Rooster just up here is where Carl Williams and Mockbell used to meet.
Oh my God.
And there's articles about it. Scout, thank you so much for joining us.
You're so welcome.
Keep an eye out for Scout in the comedy world, whether that's doing God's Favourite.
Yeah, can I do a plug for that?
Please. Where are you doing it?
So this is a show that I just finished up at Melbourne Comedy Festival.
Award-winning
show. But I'm doing an encore, a 6 o'clock show and a 7:30 show at Comedy Republic on the 26th of July. And also check out the Comedy Republic replay program in general. It's all the... Are you doing Everselly?
No, I'm doing...
RP.
I'm doing it in Geelong and Ballarat.
Nice.
But I'm not doing it in Melbourne again. But I think Zach and Alexi are, and I think...
Oh, good. I missed it.
No, but if you missed any good shows at Melbourne Comedy Festival, they curate a really good lineup.
Yeah, it's great.
Hence you.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't get to see you because we were the same time, so maybe I'll come or
Please.
force my way into the room.
Do it. It's a big room. You'll have plenty of room. It'll be beautiful.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Scout. Enjoy the footy this weekend.
I'm keen.
Bounce that pill.
This is a Grouse House podcast.